Does he have moves or what?
Here's Hardaway. He'll hammer home on Ewing. Oh, baby. He was posterized here in the arena. Those kneecaps. Now Penny. Behind the back to Shaq. He'll dipsy do.
Oh, my. Oh. Nice.
Orlando moving this game. Pressure by the Bulls. Pick and roll, try to get into the screener and go underneath. Hardway right at David Robinson.
And Kevin Johnson with the pretty assist.
The Magic out of timeouts. All they have is a 20. They'll split out.
You might want to burn that 20. Nope, they're going to let him go.
Four to shoot. Hardaway beats one, two, let him go. Good. 1.6 left. He hammers it home, and the Magic lead by two.
Hey, and the real key to that play was not the fact that he dunked it. Oh, yes, that's big. But how he freed himself up.
Nick Anderson hustling on the baseline, saves to Hardaway. He'll fire it up with one of the shot clock.
This is Mongolian Mindset, and today we're going to be typing a famous basketball player, Penny Hardaway. He was on the Magics in the
Magic, yeah,
with Shaq, and they were doing great things, and then Shaq left. So we'll be looking at him using Linda Berens Interaction Styles and Temperament combined with cognitive functions. We have a breakdown of all these online. Just go to the playlist, how to find anyone's personality type. The cognitive functions are listed one by one. And there's a massive video. Just look at cognitive functions. If you want somebody for us to type, you have to join our Discord and boost the server. And you'll get a link to suggest someone for us to type once a month. If you want more hands-on experience to be able to increase your understanding of typology, you can join our Demigod Dojo. Anything you want to say, Tom, about Penny Hardaway?
not a whole lot. Just kind of curious what his type is. I was a fan of the Magic back when they had Shaq and Penny. Yeah, I mean, I loved the team at that point. I was a huge fan of Penny. So I guess that's why I'm curious what his type is. Unfortunately, his career was cut short because he just got injured all the time. Once he started getting injured, it just didn't stop. So,
Yeah.
but he had a lot of potential. I think they said he had more potential than like Kobe Bryant, a lot of these guys. So,
Yeah. So guys,
I think was that Shaq? I think it might have even been Shaq who's like commented on like just how talented he was. But
I think Shaq did.
Yeah.
Said if he would never left Penny, they probably would have won a lot of championships.
yeah,
I think Penny was the Kobe before Kobe.
yeah, pretty much,
The two-man team. I think he probably had a better rapport with Shaq than
definitely.
because hashtag INTJ Kobe. I don't know how that FE tricks is gonna work for you. But we got personality dummy base here. They don't have a lot of votes on them, so I'm not gonna critique them too hard here. But they got him between INTP and INFP, okay, with 4 votes. So let's not get on them too hard here. We just not even gonna talk about that listing here. But here are all the metrics here that we'll be going over. So yeah, we'll be going over informing versus direct, initiating versus responding, process versus outcome, affiliative versus pragmatic,
I'll be right there.
systematic versus motive, concrete versus abstract, TEFI, TIFE, SENI, and SINE, right? So direct is very specific, concise, and to the point. Way more closed-ended statements here. Versus the informing, which is like very vague. It's kind of wordy. It kind of beats around the bush. Sometimes they play Blue's Clues where you have to decode what they're saying. But they primarily use open communication. They want you to buy into what they're trying to get you to do. They don't want to just tell you what to do. While a direct person likes to tell you what to do. Then you have initiating versus responding. Initiating has a front brain bias. So their things are up front, so the information comes out very quickly. You can look at that from Dario Nardi's work. Then you have responding, where the information travels to the back of the brain. So it takes a little bit more time. I don't like to use these metrics here. I think they're like the worst ones unless I get abundance of it. Then you have process versus outcome. This is the one I think you really need to hit. Is this person journey focused? Are they leading you through the journey to get to the outcome? Does this person care more about the journey than the end product, or are they more focused on the end product first, right? Are they just totally gun ho on the outcome of things? When they usually talk, it seems as though they're hazy when it comes to the process of things. And they just kind of skip straight over it. Then you have affiliative versus pragmatic. Okay, is this person more focused on cooperation, togetherness, right? What's best for everyone? Or is this person more of a utilitarian mindset? Ends justify the means, whatever it takes to get the job done, right? What works here? While the affiliative people are going to be more interdependent, okay? Then you have systematic or structure versus motive versus interest, right? So do they prescribe like a best way to do something? Do they analyze things from a systematic point of view? Are they looking for the system first, or do they look at the motive? Like, what do they stand to gain? Do they feel more comfortable when everything is basically parting out? Like, okay, you get this, I get this. Okay, are they looking at the psychological motive behind people? Like, oh, this person's missing their father, that type of thing. Then you have concrete versus abstract. You got the people that focus on the what is, the tangible things of life, and then you have the intangible. Like, they might be in la la land here with the intangibles, philosophies, theories, things of that nature. Then you have TIFE, and that's just I call it evaluating and judging. So you have TE more focused on empirical information, outside systems, getting control on things. Then you have FI, it's like remaining true to oneself, right? What do you value? What's important to you? Remain like the authenticity, right? And then you have TIFE, which is understanding. One is understanding people, emotions, putting other people over themselves, taking on other people's needs, empathy. And then you have TI, which is like understanding the principles behind things, if this and that, syllogistic logic. Then SE versus SI. So one is more objective experience. It's like something that we all can claim happened, like me, Thomas, and you guys. We all see this thing behind us. That's SE, right? And then you have SI, which is more like self-referencing your own internal sensations. So they'll be talking about like, oh, cold, hot, whatever the hell. Sometimes just very whiny motherfuckers. Just very whiny motherfuckers. Um, Sometimes you even notice like some people have main character syndrome, with the SI. They have to give you all of the SI, usually the ENTPs or ENFPs or whatnot, main character syndrome. And then you have NI, which is like foreseeing. What do you foresee to happen? Anticipating, synthesizing information down into one point. What is their future? What is the vision for them? Right. And then you have NE, which is patterns, connections, what could be, brainstorming, that type of thing. They're more expand on from one thing to 10 things, that's going
Oh man, Los, go way back, man. You had so much game. It was crazy. When I first saw you, I was like, damn, this young cat got some game. You can do it, man. It's crazy how we meshed and how I met you guys. But it was pretty cool just coming to Dayton, man, and locking in with everybody down there when I came for the summers.
Yes, sir.
Man, just
sounds very FE, right? Came in, mashing, talking.
Mhm.
Seems very FE there.
way back, man. You had so much game. It was crazy. When I first saw you, I was like, damn, this young cat got some game. You can do it, man. It's crazy how we meshed and how I met you guys. But it was pretty cool just coming to Dayton, man, and locking in with everybody down there when I came for the summers.
Yes, sir.
Man, just kicking it with y'all for the summer. It was cool.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. I can remember, like, Coach Ward, he came and told us, about who you were and what you represented. And, I heard a little bit about you, but I was young, man. You remember? You remember seeing me as a youngster. So he said, man, this guy, I'm telling you, all our dreams and aspirations was to go to the league. So I'm like, man, he really going to the league, Coach? He's like, yeah, he going to the league. So I remember the first time I seen you and I said, man, he played guard? I'm a 6'2" guy. I'm like playing the point. I'm like, man, he cannot play the guard position. He is a cold guard. I just remember watching you. I had never seen a guard operate like you, bro. Never.
I appreciate it. Shout out to Mr. Ward, Edward Ward. He Middledale.
Yes, sir. My high school coach.
Man. Crazy, man. He was when I first met Nikki, she was telling me that her dad was a high school coach, and then, I knew I was going to end up coming to Dayton. And when I came there and just kind of saw everybody that came through there, Meadowdale and, over at Princeton and hooping with everybody. It was a lot of talent in Dayton. Just Dayton's not big, but boy, y'all had some hoopers.
Absolutely. To this day, we still talk about that experience, when you came and blessed us with that, man. That was a beautiful time. What did when you first got to Dayton, what was your first impression of not only Dayton, but myself? Like, you talked about me being a youngster, but what was your first impression?
Yeah, when I first got to Dayton, it just kind of reminded me of Memphis a little bit. It was small, right? It was not big. And I've gone from gym to gym around, the city in Memphis. And when we traveled and played AAU, just trying to find any gym to go to and hoop. And then when I got to Dayton and saw y'all, and saw the boys, I was like, man, they got some hoopers.
Seems
I was
like a lot
really
of
taken back
progression.
and shocked.
Yeah.
I knew about Columbus. I knew probably about.
I think mentally already I'm down to ISTP and INFJ.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think mentally I'm already there. Leaning more ISTP, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Again, progression. I got SC earlier and I got FE. So I mean,
But he's really hitting that progression from what I'm seeing.
yeah. So I'm down there.
Cincinnati because those, cities were bigger, obviously. But just per size, I was impressed. And then when I saw you had so much game, it was like you reminded me of like the Lou Will, Jamal Crawford type player. You were dynamic, dog. You had quickness, you could shoot it, you could score it.
You could do
I was really impressed. And I was like, this dude is gonna do big things. And you really did, do big things.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. So I got the opportunity to go to Tennessee Martin, like I told you, and kind of met a lot of people that were, just in the mix and knew Memphis. And you can't mention Memphis without Penny Hardaway. So a lot of people talk to me about you. I'm like, man, that dude used to be in the gym with us. You gave me just so many tips, man, so many different things. I just remember it, man. I remember it like it was yesterday.
Yeah, Mr. Ward, basically when he brought me around, y'all, obviously he didn't say talk to these guys. It just came natural to me because game recognizes game. And so much game, I just knew you had a bright future. And just was kind of monitoring that and like, man, this kid is nice with it.
No doubt. So tell me this, man. You remember, I know you remember going up to Columbus and playing in the Worthington League and all of that. Yep. Just some of those guys. You remember any of the guys?
Mark Baker was the one that took me up to Columbus initially. And I was hooping up at OSU. And then the league, I can't remember that. I just remember the hooping in Dayton, but I do remember going up on campus and hooping with them and in that league. It was good, man. I just enjoyed that time because I was always searching for a great hoop. I just wanted to go where guys was gonna get it in and compete. And we got that in Columbus and in Dayton.
I know, man. See, and that's why I wanted to bring you on too and talk about it because people don't know the humble beginnings of a person that turned into a superstar like you. Now, granted, when you came, people talked about how you was going to be the next. And when I seen it, I said, oh, okay, this is what they meant. Because, again, I had never seen nobody as dynamic as 6'8", 6'9" like that. So, I just like to let people understand what it really took for you, to get a lot of the young cats you coaching. We're going to get into that now, but you coaching, and they don't understand what it takes to go from gym to gym and try to play the best competition.
Yeah, I chased hooping, man. I ain't gonna lie. I chased it everywhere I went. And it was no different in Dayton or going to Columbus. Anywhere where the best ballers were going to be, I wanted to be there to just test my game. And that's how I kind of gauged myself on what I needed to work on. We didn't have trainers back then. We were just, we were just hooping from gym to gym. Right. So, yeah, it was just that time, man, where I didn't want to go anywhere where I wasn't going to be pushed. I was pushed in Dayton. I was pushed in Columbus. I was pushed in Memphis. And everywhere I went, man, I was just trying to let's go where the best hoopers are.
Progression.
And then I'm just going to size them up and see where I fit in and see where my game is.
For sure. Penny, when it was time to go, obviously you had a tremendous career at Memphis State. And I was able to kind of follow it because, like I said, we was down there at Tennessee Martin and, we talked a lot about it. Talk to me a little bit about that transition, like from high school to Memphis State. And actually, it's Memphis now, but it was Memphis State back then. It was
it was Memphis State, University of Memphis now. It was a speed, strength thing that I saw right away.
Yeah.
And I had the speed, but I didn't have the strength. I had the toughness. So just for me, what carried me in college was me going from gym to gym and chasing the best hoopers. I wasn't intimidated. I had swag, I had confidence. I felt like I could play against anybody. I felt like nobody could stop me. I just had that mentality, no matter where I went, that I was going to be dominant. So when I got into college, you know, it was the same way. My 2 years that I played in college, because I didn't play my freshman year, I was player of the year both years with some really good teams and competition. So that it just seemed like, man, my work ethic put me in position, God's gift of giving me the talent, but the work ethic and the studying and relentless hours in the gym just hooping really just got me over the hump.
A lot of kids watch this to kind of get better too. When you say work ethic, I've had some Hall of Famers on here. I had a lot of different people that talk about the regiment of what it takes, man. And I really didn't until I started meeting guys like yourself. Like, we would be in the gym and people would just be shooting just to be shooting. But you get around somebody that's real, it's like, no, we're going to be accurate out here. The accuracy is real. So talk about your regimen a little bit, how you know, how you would get down.
I think when I originally like started really getting serious about basketball, I was blessed to meet an amateur boxer in my neighborhood. You know, boxers are elite when it comes to conditioning and fitness and all of that. So he would jog 5 miles a day. And I was like, can I jog? Can I go with you? And he was like, well, you can't hold me up. If you go, you got to finish.
Right.
I'm going to finish if I go. I didn't know it was going to be 5 miles. At that
if I go, I'm going to finish. It's a finisher.
time, I was just going wherever he went. And I was just, everything he did, I did. And, you know, watching him and training with him, it gave me that, I already had it. For me to ask him to join, for me not to quit, for me to do the push-ups, for me to do everything he was doing. And then we started holding these little one-on-one tournaments in the neighborhood. Like the older guys would hold these one-on-one tournaments. But the 5 miles in the morning, the push-ups, the sit-ups, and then to play one-on-one dang near 2 and 3 hours. A one-on-one against everybody in the neighborhood, that really sharpened my skills, man. It taught me how to go left. It taught me how to go right. It taught me how to use my pump fakes. It taught me how to shift people. It taught me how to be tough, because not only did we do one-on-ones, when I was able to play 5-on-5, that was what we called the big end, and we had the small end. The small end was all the guys that couldn't hoop and the young guys. The big end was the real hoopers. So when I got a little older, they started letting me play on the big end, but I couldn't shoot. All I could do was defend, rebound, and if I got one open look, they'll give me one open look. So I had to really earn my right onto that court through defense and all the hustling and scrapping. But that ended up making me a better player all around.
Progression.
I wasn't entitled. I never felt entitled. I just thought that the work itself was going to get me over the hump against anything that I had to deal with.
Absolutely. So what would happen if you took a shot?
Might get smacked. It depends on the time of the game.
Yes.
I think one time I took a shot I wasn't supposed to take and we lost. Oh, man, they was about to jump me, bro. I ain't even lie.
I know what you mean.
Because they was like, you got to wait like maybe 4 downs before you get back on the court, because there was so many people waiting.
Yeah.
You had to sign a list.
For sure.
And, man, we lost the game because I took one of those shots. Never again. Never again. I was like, I ain't doing that no more. So at the end of the day, man, it just, you know how that works.
Man, that's the real hooping days, for real.
That's the real hooping days. When you come to the park or you go to the community center, you got 30 people in there and everybody trying to hoop. And if you lose, you might have to wait 4 or 5 downs before you could go again. Oh, you didn't want to lose. It was knockdown, drag out.
Man, you be looking like, man, y'all ready to go.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. Ain't nobody trying to do that. I just love the fact that we can talk like that.
What you think of ISTP?
I think most likely. I mean, most likely he keeps on talking about like honing his skills. I think his mindset's a very ISTP kind of mindset.
Yeah, really
talking about putting in the practice, putting in the work. It's like an SI critic.
Yeah. So guys, we're gonna go ahead and get direct responding.
Progression, like the mofo.
Yeah.
A lot of progression.
And he's not really, talking about himself a lot there. I mean, he's TIFE. He understands that. And we got SENI. So we got either an ISTP or INFJ. I'm not really seeing INFJ here. Really not hearing intuition talk. Really not talking about vision or passion or anything like that. It just seems to be like, okay, I'm just playing basketball. So we're down to
Yeah, very stuck in the moment. Yeah.
we're both down to motive here. So and we'll go back, make sure. But I think we're wrapping up here at ISTP. Maybe he's a 3.
To the youth that's coming up to try to really understand how to get to that next level, man. And you know, it's just refreshing to me. It's music to my ears to hear somebody that's a Hall of Famer, USA Olympian, you know, just to talk about that, let alone what you're doing in the league.
That was an advantage, really. You know, I know a lot of this generation because, you know, my players always say, man, you old, or that's old school, that's not new school. I'm glad I was born in the era I was born in because it was all about work.
Mm-hmm.
And when you talk to them about work, it doesn't register because they've never been pushed to the limits that we were pushed.
Right.
You know, you weren't running because of punishment. You were running because you wanted to be great. They can't even imagine just running to be great.
Exactly.
Running is punishment nowadays.
Yes, sir.
You can't. Okay, I'll say it like this. You're going to need that work ethic at some point to push yourself to be great. You're going to either get it now or you're going to get it later, but you're obviously going to need it if you're trying to reach the goals that you really want to reach.
Of course.
Don't need it.
Yes, for sure.
You can't avoid it. Unless you're just ultra talented and you just gotten away with just being just super talented and people keep taking a chance on you. But it's going to get to a point that day, college or maybe NBA, where you're going to have to do more than your fair share to just show up in the gym and just be more talented.
Absolutely, man. That's so real. That is real. Talk to me about the transition. Now, you know, you done killed in high school, you done killed in college. Now it's time to get drafted. It's time to go to the league. Obviously, it was an expectation, and I want to get into some of the things that happened within that. But just how was that for you? Getting drafted, the draft process, where you went, who you played with, how was that for you?
Yeah, I think the 2 years that I spent in college, I always give all the credit to God. I showed that I was ready for that moment. And when they started talking about me going lottery, top 3 pick, that's when it became real. But I felt like I was ready for my moment. The one thing that you don't want to happen is when that time comes not to be ready for your moment. You have to be ready for your moment. And I was ready. So I worked out for the Golden State Warriors and I worked out for the Orlando Magic. I didn't work out for the Philadelphia 76ers. They had the 2nd pick. So Golden State had 1, Orlando had 3. And 2 things happened that summer. I was doing the movie Blue Chips with Shaq. So I was basically classic. I was auditioning with Shaq on the movie Blue Chips to try to become a teammate. And then secondly, I just, when I went to Orlando the first time, I have to tell the story really quickly.
Yeah, for sure.
I went to Orlando the first time. Stuart Scott, the late, great Stuart Scott, who worked at ESPN, was working for a news affiliate in Orlando. And he was like a sportscaster on one of those news stations. He was the only person, the first visit I went to Orlando, that was in the airport. No one else, nobody from the Magic, nothing. I'm in the airport waiting. He came to interview me because he was like a guy's coming in to work out for the Orlando Magic. Dude, we left the airport. I asked him, could he take me to grab something to eat? We went to McDonald's. And me and Stuart Scott are sitting down just talking about North Carolina, where he went, and I was talking about Memphis. And we just talked and talked and talked. And then years later, we know what happened with Stuart Scott. He became one of the biggest guys on ESPN. But my first workout with Orlando, it was just the combine stuff, shuttle, vertical leap, and sprints and stuff like that. Bro, I ran everything and did everything like my life depended on it. I broke the sprint record, the shuttle record, the vertical leap. It was one guy, just a strength and conditioning coach. It wasn't a general manager or nobody. I tried to leave such a lasting impression on him that he would have to go back and go, I think you guys might need to bring this guy in again because y'all weren't here. His numbers are kind of off the charts for 6'7". You only get one time to make a first impression, Los.
Absolutely.
SC,
And I wasn't going to, just because there was no
SC
general
parent.
manager there was no president of the team, there was no head coach. I went all out just for that strength coach, so he could understand my work ethic and that he could
Absolutely.
pass that on.
Mm-hmm.
And when I left, I went back and told Shaq, yo, nobody was at the airport, like, and told him what happened. But that workout was personal for me to give that guy, this is who you're going to get if you draft me.
Of course.
And he wasn't making any decisions. But I knew it was going to have an impact on the entire thing by going in there and just really just destroying that workout.
Absolutely. And letting people know
Oh, yeah. I feel pretty good with ISTP here.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. So guys, we got Penny Hardaway as an ISTP. Not shocked by it. I'm not shocked.
No, not too much. I mean,
figured
before we
most
even
people-
started, I was kind of thinking, thinking finisher type, you know.
Yeah. He's pretty laser focused too. So
Yeah.
and he's not an asshole. So if he's not an asshole, well, Michael Jordan's an asshole. So
He kind of, yeah.
yeah.
He's like Jordan if Jordan wasn't an asshole.
Yeah. So I'm thinking three W2.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, he's what we thinking? SP?
Yeah, I'd say
SP.
probably SPS so, I guess.
Yeah. I roll
But
with
definitely SP first.
N squared
Yeah.
or ND. What are you thinking? ND or N? I think N squared probably, right?
Yeah, I don't see the D.
I don't see the D.
Jordan definitely has the D.
Yeah,
lot of D.
Yeah. Yeah, because he was kind of getting Shaq was on him, bro. Shaq was on him, Shaq was kind of Shaq can be a very bullying motherfucker.
Well, he's Shaq though.
Yeah, I mean he is Shaq. He's a big guy, man. But you gotta let him know. You might beat my ass, but you gonna take a big loss. I'm taking somebody eyeballs. I'm taking something. Fucking up your ear. I don't know what it is, but it ain't gonna be the same. So you ain't never gonna want this ass whooping again. Demigod level, we thinking above average.
I think above average. Yeah, I mean he's pretty pretty impressive what he was able to accomplish. As a young adult, young man.
Yeah, if he wouldn't have, that's the big thing about the thing that makes LeBron so amazing is he's able to avoid injuries.
Yeah.
With these big name guys like Tracy McGrady, who I think is probably an ISTP as well, and Penny Hardaway. I think there was another guy who they were saying was really Grant Hill. I think he probably ISTP as well.
Grant Hill, yeah.
They
I
all
remember
got
that.
injured, and they were supposed to be the next great thing. And the most important thing is to be able to not get injured.
I mean, Kobe I think he went most of his career without getting injured. He did, or at least, the first 3 quarters, he was pretty good on not getting injured.
Yeah.
Later on, he definitely had more struggles, but
Yeah. I mean, because it's just wear and tear over time, and all it takes is one. And then, like, even coming back from a torn ACL, like,
it's very serious, yeah.
or, like, like you just lose some type of faith into that knee or your body, right? It's a difference when you have never had an injury before. Like, you just never think something's gonna happen. But once you do have an injury, it starts to creep in your mind. This could go happen again, or I got to make sure this thing is strong, or So, I see a whole bunch of athletes like they get those injuries and they never make it back, man. But the ACLs have gotten a lot better because the surgeons have gotten a lot better. But in general, yeah, sad to see that. But Penny Hardaway is off the list. We got an ISTP. We ain't had one in a while, so that's awesome to see. A very humble guy, man. Very humble.
Oh yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, very humble.
Very humble guy. I was like, damn, he's very humble. I'm like, I don't think he's INFJ though. But yeah.
And seeing that, he kind of reminds me of Jerry Rice. I think Jerry Rice might also be ISTP, like in terms of like the work ethic and the also kind of like physically how he looks. He kind of reminds me of Jerry Rice.
Jerry Rice, we have to do him. Jerry Rice, a beast.
He's pretty much the greatest wide receiver ever. I mean, and his work ethic was insane, like what he did in order to be the best.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Randy Moss ISTP.
Yeah, you're probably right about that. Yeah.
Randy Moss.
I
That was a great
think he
effort.
has cancer. I think I heard that he has
Yeah,
cancer,
he had cancer, and then
or he had it.
Dion had it too. I think Dion's dying. I think that United ate that body, man, because he had the fucking the blood clots, and then he had the cancer, and then I heard like recently he said he thinks he's had more blood clots because he's in so much pain. I'm like, damn, bro, that NI, bro, eating that body, bro, you better be careful. Um, but yeah, um, it's kind of cool to see some of these athletes, man. They're not always, what people would think, SPs. Sometimes
Hmm.
you get an INTJ, sometimes you get INFJ, sometimes you get ESTJ. Yeah. All right, guys, we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.
Peace.